like that not knowing part of like not knowing that your husband or the person you're dating has children with somewhere. It's possible, and especially
my husband tell me that if there's anything you do or you did, right, that you maybe did by mistake or whatever, that you know is going to affect our marriage, tell me.
Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of the Truthandtalespodcast with your favorite host Yemi and
Victoria.
Yeah. We're back again, guys.
Yes.
We are back. See, we are killing this consistency. We are trying now. We're back again with another interesting episode, another interesting conversation for you guys today. In fact, I feel like it's just been, from one interesting conversation to another. And you guys have been enjoying it. Thank you guys so much for subscribing, for leaving your comments, for your likes, for all your engagement on all of our podcast, on the podcast, and also on our YouTube channel. Thank you guys so much. And on that note, if you are yet to subscribe to the channel, you are yet to click that subscribe button. What are you waiting for? Like, what are you waiting for? Just go ahead and click on that subscribe button and turn on the bell notification so that whenever we upload a video like this, whenever we upload any juicy content, you are the first to know. Nobody will be telling you about it. You are the one that will be telling people about it, But anyways, thank you guys so much for your consistency, your support, and your love, your engagement. We really do see you guys, and we appreciate you guys a lot. Okay, thank you guys so much. And please do not forget that we also have personal channels on YouTube as well. On YouTube, I'm Yemi Deji, and Victoria is Victoria Fash. Yeah, just Victoria Fash. I was about to say Daily Fash, and then I remember it's just Victoria Fash. Yep. Yes, just Victoria Fash. Just go there and check out our content so that you get to know us a lot better. And yeah, I think that's it. You really enjoy it. I'm sure, I'm certain of that. So yes, today we have another interesting conversation. It's a truth. Yes, it's actually someone's truth, and it's an interesting one. It's really interesting, and it's something I feel like and it's something that I feel like a lot of us will have something to take away from it. As always, there's always something to take away from relationships and all of that. So yes, Victoria, give us, what is the truth of the day?
Okay. All right, guys. So yes, this truth is a big one, right? And if you're Nigerian, you probably have maybe come across this story on one of your social media platforms or something, right? So the truth today is about Mr. Ibu's daughter. Okay. So Mr. Ibu is an actor. In case you're not a Nigerian, he's an actor here in Nigeria. And recently, I think about last week. Was it last week? Yeah, I think it was actually last week. Right, the daughter sent out a post on our social media page, an Instagram, her Instagram page, and she was talking about how she met her husband on TikTok, and how the guy flew down on TikTok. The guy flew down from the US, I think, to meet her in Nigeria, and in 4 days they were engaged. She has never met this guy before. They met on TikTok, the guy flew down, and in 4 days they were engaged, and and then within 2 months they were married. Okay. And this, I remember when I saw that post initially, I was like, hey, 4 days, someone you don't know, someone you saw on TikTok. But anyways, being a person that met the husband on Instagram, I said, to God be the glory. Okay. So it was just surprising when I woke up this morning and I saw a post that she made on her Instagram stories again, or her Instagram page, and she was saying, and this is what I'm going to read, right? Because this is what we are going to discuss. She said, this was the best 9 months of my life. That is, they've been married for 9 months. I have no regrets whatsoever, and I won't settle for lies regardless. I forgive easily. I remember asking you about this several times before we started. Finding out today from your mom really broke me. A foundation built upon a tiny lie will not stand. I love how you love me. I love how you never mentioned, I hate how you never mentioned your divorce nor your kids to me. Moving on, I don't think I want anybody else. Just going to love you from a distance. And then she went on to show how she made a police statement, and how she's trying to make the divorce legal. And she said, my marriage was so beautiful and full of love. My husband literally worshipped me. I don't know if anyone else is going to love me like he did, but one lie I cannot forgive. I have filed for a divorce today. I found out today that he has 3 grown-up girls, 3. never told me he was married and divorced. Yes, he is divorced, but still doesn't change anything. I married a single husband and I will not settle for less. I love him so much. I appreciate all the love that you showed me. You showed me a different version of love. I appreciate, but I cannot settle for a tiny lie. I can't forget. I won't forgive. I don't owe anyone any explanation. Don't ever lie about your age for any reason. Okay. I love you, MD. And she said, I posted this because you will do everything to make sure we reconcile. I want it so bad. I want so bad to spend forever with you. I do. You're really perfect and you're loving. But no, not with this tiny lie. I would have still married you if you had told me. I would have. Now I can't trust you no more. This shit hurts. I don't need anyone to advise me on anything. I love my husband till forever, but I cannot forgive. And then people started talking and she started responding, and then she's saying, I will love you for the rest of my life. I love you, I love you, I love you, but I cannot forgive you. Okay. So yes, so this is the story, right? So she met her husband. We've already established that they met, and within 2 months they were married. They met online, only for her to find out from the guy's mom that the guy has been married before and he has 3 grown-up children, right? And apparently the guy also lied about his age. And with everything she has posted here, she still loves him. Like, you can tell that she really loves this guy, but that lie is just too much for her. And she can't take it anymore. And then there was a time she was like, I remember there was one one of the posts she made. She said, she said something about the fact that, F anyone who has anything to say. If I ever need to forgive and forget, I might reconsider my decision. But until then, I will love you from a distance. I feel the love, but the hurt is more. Okay, so she's saying that maybe she might change her mind, but for now the guy should just go and go. She should stay and stay, right? But she still loves him and all of that. So yes, Yemi, what's your thoughts? Before we get into this, what is your thoughts generally?
Now I think it's I don't know. I think it's quite interesting that she really likes the guy a lot, and she just can't move past that lie. I don't think, because sometimes it'll be like, okay, maybe she didn't do due diligence enough to like really know, because like you said, they dated for like, they didn't even date per se. They met 4 days after and he came in to propose to her, like he wants to marry her. I don't know how much conversation they had in 4 days, and let's even say that 12 hours in a day, in those 4 days, they were constantly talking. I don't still think they'll be able to cover enough topics that will lead them into marriage. I really don't think so. But then again, nothing.
But topic about you are married, you have kids.
You know, and not just that. Again, to be able to study, to be able to see, reading between the lines, because before you get married to somebody, or even when you're in a relationship to somebody, it's not everything they tell you. It's not like everything they have to verbally tell you. Some things you would know just by association, you just perceive it. They wouldn't need to tell you that, okay, I like to sleep a lot. You just see that this person sleeps a lot, maybe, or you can just tell, maybe when this person say, oh, I sleep, I was asleep, you just know that, oh, this person sleeps early. They won't necessarily have to tell that I'm an early sleeper. Do you get? So there are some things that you would just know just by relationship, just by associating with that person. So I don't think, for me, 4 days is enough for you to be able to tell all of that. But then again, they got engaged, they had 9 months of marriage, which is like almost a year of marriage. So everything was good until she found out about that lie. So I think that I'm not really going to focus a lot on that, you know, not doing your due diligence enough, because like I said, they've had 9 months to do everything, and she's still insisting that she loves him. Like, he must have been doing everything right up until that lie. And for me, the way she was even writing, she was writing tiny lie. That lie is not tiny. It is a lie. You know?
That's the thing. Like, why do you keep qualifying
I don't know.
I'm calling it tiny.
The way she's saying tiny lies, and I know she's writing it because of our people, the Nigerian audience, you know, because next thing that people will say is that tiny lie, is that small lie? You know, she's saying it ahead of time that, okay, because of that tiny lie, this is the reason why I'm not, going further. And I think for me, that lie is not tiny at all. It's not tiny, especially because of marriage. If you're coming down to propose to somebody, you're showing that you're serious. You really want to get married to that person. You want to spend the rest of your life with that person. Then you should do everything within your power to make that person trust you, which starts with the basic foundation about who you are. If you are not going to tell me the truth about your previous your life, not everything, but the fundamentals, like the foundation, your age, I should be outside and somebody is telling me your husband is 40 and I'm here dragging and arguing that my husband is 30. Those things doesn't make sense. And for her to have even found out from his mom and not from him, not just the age now, then you have 3 grown-up children. 3 grown-up children. Are you not proud of your children? Is something wrong? There's so many questions that will come out of that just lie. And it's not even saying that, okay, I forgot to tell you. These are things that you don't forget to tell somebody. This is you.
You can't even forget, because she said that she asked. She kept asking, and he kept lying. And so it's not even a matter of lying by omission. This was lying by lying.
So it was intentional. It was a deliberate action on his own end, not to tell her that information. I don't know. In fact, it's women that used to not tell a guy that they've had a child before because this baby mama thing, you are not after one. Guys don't even do that. I mean, there are lots of women that would want to marry a man. Women get married to divorcee.
I wanted to marry a divorcee. I've already said it. Like my ideal man then was a divorced man with kids.
Women are there that want to marry somebody. Women are happily being a second wife. Women are happily being a side chick, which I don't see any sense in it. But there are some people that they are just happily doing all those kind of things. So he would have gotten somebody if he wanted somebody. But if you now chose this person, then you should open up and tell the person. So for me, it's not a small lie. Because I mean, like, I know a family member that had their marriage based on a lie like that, and the marriage never, they never recovered. Like, they lived separately since then. So in this case, the man is a Muslim, and the girl was also a Muslim, and the man's father, he's the only child of his father, and the father was also a Muslim. So the man wanted him to get married, like, before he dies and everything, so that he can have grandchildren and all of that, and he really wanted him to get married to a Muslim. But he had gone to uni, he had converted to a Christian, but he never told his dad, because he was like, okay, my dad is ill and all of that, like, there's no point, like, he's already old and everything, and let me just continue doing my thing. I don't need to tell him. But the man really wanted him to marry somebody that is a Muslim and everything, just, And then he had gone to school, he had converted. He kept telling this lady that, okay, I'm a Muslim. Now, he made this lady sign a document that whatever religion that the husband does is the religion that the wife will do. And the wife was like, what's there? Like, you are a Muslim, I'm a Muslim.
We are both
of course
Muslims.
Now, we are going to obviously have the same religion, which is one of the reasons why they have his own family supported the lady. Like, they really welcomed her. And then they did the wedding, she got pregnant, and then the father died. And then he then revealed that, see, I've converted to a Christian, and this, and she was like, oh wow. And then the next thing, he brought out that episode of, you said the religion that the husband is doing, wanting to coerce the girl to become a Christian. And she said no. She moved out of the house, she had the child for him, and they never came back together. So when somebody says that that is a tiny lie, no, it is not a tiny lie. Those are the things that define you as a person. Those are, like, when somebody say, tell me about you, you probably say your name, you say your age, you say where you're from, you say your religion, you talk about your beliefs, and then what else? Before you even start asking deep questions like, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Or what you talk about, those things that define you, like your own description. And so for you to now, like, lie about it, I don't, like, I totally support her decision, honestly. Like, that's just my own opinion for now. Like, that's just my own opinion before we even, like, really talk more about it. So what do you think?
Well, I don't even know where to start, because first of all, I'm going to start from the basics, okay? I'm a believer in faith. I know that God can do anything, right? God can do the impossible. But I also think that God gave us common sense so that we know, we don't just take grace for granted, okay? And that's why I have problem with, when pastors prophesy 11th hour marriage. There are people who have had 11th hour marriage, and they have amazing marriages, and I'm happy for them, okay? But that we are in December 1st, and the prophecy is telling, or December 20th, and the prophecy is saying that before December 31st, you will get married.
I maybe should have been dating the person before now.
No, you will see a man and you will get get married to him. My dear, you should be careful of such. What I'm just saying is that see, there's a reason why there ought to be a knowing before there is a marrying, right? And I know we can argue it to the biblical standpoint. Many people got married in the Bible. They didn't know each other. It was this person introduced to this person, but those people know the family. It's between parents. The parents, they know their family members. The parents know the friends and the community and everything. They know the person that they are about to give their children out for marriage. But there's a reason why there's a process to getting married. Right? I don't want to even talk about the fact that it was the mother of the boy that eventually released. Did the mother not know that you guys were getting married initially? Right? Because before now, and there's also the part where she never posted this guy. See, I'm a believer of don't post your process, okay, on social media unless you are led to. Okay, normally people would go through your process, you come out to share your testimony and you talk about your process. When I was dating my husband, nobody knew that I was dating anybody. We dated for 4 years. Maybe if you are very, very close to me, right, that's when like that is, you see my status, because that's as far as I could post him. You understand? No one knew. Even when I came from the US the other time, we were already planning our marriage, and I came, he was the one who picked me up from the airport. I did a vlog about coming back to Nigeria. They didn't see his face, right? Not because I was scared that he was going to jilt me, but that is my belief, that I don't need people in my business, right, before the end product, because I know his family members, I know him, I know everything there is to know about him, right? However, imagine if this lady, because this lady never posted him on social media, never ever did any, thing, and the moment she posted him on social media, all of a sudden people are coming with the truth. That is very, very fishy to me, because I feel like the guy was forced. And this brings me to another point. My husband always tells me that before we got married, my husband would tell me that if there's anything you do or you did, right, that you maybe did by mistake or whatever, that you know is going to affect our marriage, tell me. Be the one to tell me. Don't let me find out, because that's what a lie is. Sometimes we do something and we are not comfortable saying it because we are afraid of how it's going to hurt the person. But at the end of the day, it is better for you. My husband will say, when you tell the truth, you have the opportunity to control the narrative. You have the opportunity to tell me from your standpoint. But when I find out, I don't even want to hear your perspective, because now I'm not seeing it as you are being open or you are being honest. I see it as you were caught. That's why you're not managing the situation. You are trying to manage the situation, right? So that's why I am all for being honest. Personally, I don't like lies. I don't like liars. There's nothing I hate in this world. Anybody that knows me will tell you than you to tell me lie. Tell me the truth. Whatever happens, let it happen. I cannot beat you or whatever. You understand? Tell the truth and live with the consequence. Okay? So in this particular situation, I think the guy was deliberate. There was no, I forgot. You never forget. You don't even forget that you were married before. You can't forget. Let's even say you forgot that you were married. Let's say you had amnesia. You forgot you were married before, that you were divorced. How can you forget 3 grown children? So is it that they don't have a relationship with their father? Is it that the father is not in their life? Because that brings me to the lady again. How can your husband have 3 grown children and you don't know? They don't talk? Or are you okay? Maybe they're in a long distance, because she said the guy is in America and he flew down to Nigeria to marry after whatever. Maybe they're in a long, maybe okay. So I don't want to be quick to judge, but again, seeing that's always say. I think. Sorry to interrupt. Sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to say that. Just say this. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, like that not knowing part of, like, not knowing that your husband or the person you're dating has children with somewhere. It's possible, and especially for people that are very deliberate about hiding things, it is very possible for them to hide it that you would not know, because like God should just save us for somebody that is monitoring or that is plotting that we are just being open with those people. I have somebody, like someone that was very close to me. She was dating this guy. It's not even that they met online. No, they met physically. The guy comes to the house. He knows like all of us. She goes to his house where his mom is. She knows them. In fact, these children that she was thinking that it was from maybe random family member, that his mom was taking care of, twins, a boy, I think 2 boys or a boy and a girl, I can't even remember.
that the guy's mom was taking care of, not knowing that they were his. She will go there, she'll buy things on the remember when she goes to visit, she'll buy things for them. So the guy walks in, I think he was 7, or he was working in Kaduna at the time, and then she was here. One random time like this, in fact, she went to pray one time. Somebody was telling her a vision that the person she's there, that somebody's in her life right now, and she should ask the person, she should persuade the person to tell her something, that there's something that person needs to tell her. And everybody was just thinking like joke. Then she just kept asking him. He said nothing was wrong. I don't even know how eventually one day he called her and is like, he's sorry and everything, that those twins though, they're for him.
Yeah,
and then it led up to a lot of, like, everybody were shocked that everybody already liked this guy. Like, we were all into the situation and everything. And I don't even know what pushed him to, because from that moment that they saw the vision and everything, she was thinking it was something that would harm me. She started to pray about it, that, you know, whatever the thing is should be revealed. Randomly, the guy just came and told her that, see, those kids, so they are for me. And in answer to say things that, okay, where's the mom?
You see, that is the point I wanted to make. That's the point I also wanted to make, that, see, if you mentioned that the lady was praying, although she was praying about something else, but see, there is no way, and I keep saying this, and that's the point I wanted to make that made me keep quiet initially, that, because people will always say that I make things too spiritual, but there is no way, as a Christian, you have a God that loves you this much, that will make you move into something that will destroy your life. And that's why I always say, see, you cannot choose a life partner without God. I already shared the story, because this your friend's story reminded me of the story of when I was dating a married man, so to speak, right? When the guy asked me out, and you see, and that's the thing, you cannot start, I always tell people, you cannot start knowing God when you are now trusting God for a life partner. You have to be sure about how God speaks to you. When this guy came to me, I had no idea it was mine. He never told me. Literally, we were together for like close to a month or 2. He
didn't say.
No, actually, just almost like a month, right? We were together, but every time I'm with this guy, my spirit tells me something is off. The Holy Spirit didn't tell me he's married. It didn't tell me anything, but I just felt an uneasiness in my heart, like something is off. And I know when my spirit is in balance. I knew something was off about this guy. And then I started praying. And it was the same way this your guy came to tell the girl. That was the way the guy walked to my house in the middle of the night. In short, we just met that night. We had spoken, played. He had gone home. I came back into my room, and the thing was so heavy in my heart, because I knew that I was really, really liking this guy, but I knew my spirit was unsettled. And then I started praying. This guy that just left my house drove back himself to come and tell me that he's actually married and his wife just gave birth. So for you to see, that's what I always say, see, we underestimate the power of the Holy Spirit. We underestimate, and sometimes it's not even that the Holy Spirit is not talking. Sometimes it's because we just don't want to listen. Right? But I don't want us to get overly spiritual. But just put that in your hand. Put that in your hand. There's no way people get, and I'm not saying that Christian marriages don't have issues. I'm not saying that you enter into marriage because, you know, God gave you approval, or so to speak. You enter into marriage and you will not face issues. No, issues will come in marriage. Challenges will come in marriage. But that's, you now enter into something like this. And don't let me talk. Because I don't want people to say that maybe I'm taking this thing to spiritual, but it's the fact. And it hurts me so much when people go into marriage blindly, right? And anyways, I feel like I'm deviating. Let us go back to Genesis. So my problem, so yes, absolutely, I agree with her. But what I don't understand is all this, I love him so much, all this sentiment, I might reconsider. If you know you are not sure, if you know that you love him that much, you should be able to talk it out and work it out. But if you know that you are done and you know that you don't want this marriage anymore, then move on. Because right now, and I know moving on can be, you know, I might sound harsh, or, you know, because trust me, I understand that moving on is not just moving on. It's not just like, you know, it's not automatic. There is still that lingering, there's still that mourning period and all of that. So I understand that. But I understood everything she was, even when she was doing the I love him so much, I love how you love me, you know, and all of that. I understood all of that because I know that she's mourning. But when you are now saying that I might change my mind, sister, if you know you are not ready for a divorce, sit down and work it out with him. Because that's the thing, there is no issue in marriage that cannot be sorted. And I keep saying this, there is nothing in your and when I was single, there are certain things I say I will not take in my marriage. If you do this, I'm leaving. If you shake me call, I'm going, my sister. You will understand. You know, last time we're talking about married people and single people. That's one of the reasons why single people don't open up to their married people don't open up to their single friends, because the single me, there are certain things that have happened in my marriage that I will advise. If it was my friend that was going through that, I would have advised her to leave. You understand? But I don't regret staying back, because now I have an understanding that it's not easy, right? So I don't know. That sentiments. Yeah, I mean, what? Sorry, do you have something else to add? Because I don't want to be rambling.
Honestly, I think that sentiment I really don't understand. But like you said, I think she's just in that phase of grieving, and you just say anything. I'm sure she doesn't even know what she's talking about. She doesn't even know what she's saying. Later on, now I will not be shocked when things start to unfold and you begin to hear things like he didn't love her correctly, and you begin to hear other things like something came up in the middle, and they begin to drag each other. Like I wouldn't be surprised.
Bless you. All this, I love her. You love me. Things. You love me. Sister.
Honestly, I just feel like she's just in that phase.
Now we go there.
She's just in that phase where she's like hurting from the whole thing, and she probably and it's like it's even possible that maybe the guy even loved her correctly, but then for me I would still find it very fishy, and that's why for me I may not be able to move forward in it, because if you're being nice to me and you're not telling me the truth, the core truth about who you are, then I have a feeling that maybe you're pretending to get something from me. Maybe you're pretending just so that you can get, he has 3 grown girls. Maybe he wants a boy child, that he's looking for a young girl to just impregnate and just be nice, and then if he gets the boy, then it's all nice. Like, what happened to the relationship? Okay, you are divorced. Why are you divorced? Like, I should know before entering into that marriage. Like, I should know.
Exactly.
I should be able. I should be given the opportunity.
He robbed her of the opportunity.
So like, he didn't even give her the opportunity to be able to ask the questions that she would have loved to ask. If you tell me that, I'm divorced, I have 3 grown children, there are a lot of, like she said, I wanted a single person, single man, marry. Like, she assumed that was one person. Later to find out that there are 3 people involved. What if the lady decides to come back? What was the basis for you people's divorce? Exactly. Is it actually divorce, or our Nigerian way of divorce, and when you just separate and tell yourself that you are divorced? Like, what are these things that are involved? There are a lot of things that are involved. So for me, I would actually not like the fact that you didn't give me the opportunity to say. Like, I remember, we said it once that I didn't tell my husband my real age. Like, that one was even dating. I didn't tell him the age.
We are supposed to have a video on this, Yemi.
We're
supposed to have a video on this, because
we're actually forgotten
the same thing.
And I didn't really and one of my friends was like, if you don't tell him now, maybe he has a particular standard, and he has probably said to himself that, okay, I will not marry somebody below this age, and then I'm robbing him of that opportunity to make that decision ahead of time. That's exactly the way I heard that thing from my friend, and I was like, I just have to tell this guy, and then I just told him, and then it was like, I already knew and all of that. But the thing is, in a situation where it is more serious, it is not your age and that's it. You have 3 grown-up children. Is she ready to be a stepmom? We've talked about it before. Like, if you're marrying somebody older or something like that, you want to look at all the factors that are involved. So I think for me, I just feel like, everybody should just know their deal breaker. I think for me, this one was a deal breaker for the girl, and the guy just robbed her of the opportunity to decide properly, which for me is a no. It's a no. If something is a deal breaker for somebody and you don't give them that opportunity, you don't give them that information to decide properly, then you have cheated them, then you have lied to them, then you have robbed them of something that is important to them. And if they decide not to forgive, if they decide not to, then it's up to you to make amends. And like she said, she doesn't think. But my own, like you said, is that she said, okay, she doesn't want, and then later she said she might change her mind. Where are you? I understand she is still fresh, and the love is there, the anger is there, so you don't know. But at this point, she just feels like she can't do it. But whichever one, my own is just that, whatever we are doing, like, you just know your deal breakers and just make sure that you do your due diligence, honestly, whatever. And really to pray, just really, really pray back, because again, there are a lot of things that people don't say, that you just perceive, you just see. People don't, like, you just see somebody, you just feel like they're constantly on the phone, they're sending money to people, they are doing certain things. You just start to feel like, okay, like, what's wrong? And then you start to ask some questions, not because you just sit and wake up and say, oh yeah, do you have children outside? Do you have this on that somewhere? Do you have that? No, but you start to notice things. So I feel like, as much as, yes, this online, I just met you, we click, we connect, as much as it is, it is common nowadays, we should also try, at least try reading between the lines. Let all your 5 senses, let it be sharp, because for me, prevention is always better than cure. For me, it's easier for you not to go into it than for you to go into it and now start thinking of divorce. Like, there's a whole lot of things involved, and now she's coming out there, somebody that's kept herself private for a while, now it's coming out there and there's so much drama. I just feel like we should just do better and just be authentic. And for all the liars out there, just think about how
the liars.
Think about how your lie is going to affect another person's future. I like what you said, what you mentioned earlier, that your husband said that if there's something you've done in your past that could affect our marriage, not something that, in fact, if it will affect you as a person, because you are married to that other person, it would affect him too. Tell him. If it's just going to affect whatever, you are now one. Don't come and be saying, I didn't want to tell you. Like, people are out there, you have big information, critical information that are foundational to the union, that are fundamental to the union. You will not keep it, you will not lie about it, you will say you don't remember to say it, and you're remembering to eat, and you're remembering to sleep with that person, and you're remembering to do all of those things. You now did not remember to tell her something that is that important to you. I think it's just being fraudulent, and it's not fair. It's not. So liars, beware.
I think that's the word too. It's been fraudulent, and I still feel like there has to be a motive, like, because you can't hide 3 children. Like, what's the things that's coming to my mind there? I don't want to say it, because what's wrong with you that will not make a person? There's a motive. There's something else. And I think that the lady, maybe she dodged the bullet, maybe, and maybe not. Maybe the guy was just, afraid. I don't know what he was afraid of to begin with, but I always, and that's the thing, and maybe just like Yemi said, don't lie, right? I was listening to a question and answer session with Pastor M and Pastor Mildred and Kingsley. And somebody asked that she had cheated on her husband previously, but it's been a while. That should she tell him, because now they are good, everything is good, and she does not want to spoil him, she does not want it to affect him and stuff like that, and she does not know if she should tell him the truth. And I'm like, first of all, if that's taking that long and you are still thinking about it, that is, it is in your heart. And I love what Pastor Mildred said. Lies always have a way of coming out. And sometimes they come out in the worst possible time. They come out in a time where, you wouldn't want it, right? And there is no way you can build a marriage on a lie. It will always be, even if it doesn't come out, it's something that will always be eating you up on the inside. You will always have that, because one of the things that you would, like when you are light, I remember the time when I was cheated on my relationship, one thing I kept thinking then was, would we sleep together, we eat together, well, we don't sleep together, we eat together, we play together, we do everything together, and you are comfortable being with me and lying. And then it makes them start questioning every other thing. Like, how am I certain that every other thing you've told me is true? How am I certain that this lying is wrong? But what is worse than lying is letting the person find out, right? Letting them find out themselves. It's better if you do. There's nothing wrong in doing something wrong. Everybody make mistakes. Everybody falls. Sometimes even people that claim they will never cheat in their life, sometimes they find themselves in a situation and they fall and they cheated. But give that person that you erred against the opportunity to choose to remain or to choose to leave. Don't lie to manipulate a person to stay in something, because we've been hearing a lot of cases of paternity fraud. Men in their 60s just finding out that their children is not theirs. Come on, that is wickedness. That is no longer lie. That is wickedness. There was a guy that, I don't know if you read the story recently. He was about to bring his aged parents to the US, to I think US or Canada, and one of their rule is that if you want them to join you, you have to do a paternity test. You have to be sure that they are yours. And he did. A man who already has grandchildren, then he did a paternity test and realized that his father and him, they are not the same. He was flabbergasted. He called his sister and his brother. The 4 children did a paternity test and realized that their father is not their father. It's not their biological father. And these are people who are already in their 70s. That is wickedness. That's wickedness.
But some people, their mind is deep, Sha.
And that's the thing. The moment you start getting comfortable with a lie, right, before you know what is happening, you don't see there is anything wrong in it. And that's how come you can take that lie for up to 30 years. Because imagine the first time she did it and she got pregnant for the first child. If she had told the man, maybe things would have been better. Right? But she got to the point where she convinced herself it's nothing. She's doing it for him. Maybe it's the guy that has a problem that cannot, that cannot give her children. And she convinced herself that she's doing the right thing. The second one, the third one, the fourth one. Lying is never good.
So
and when you know that,
you
see, when you know that when you know that the lie has become a sin, is when you are not comfortable in that lie. When the lie does not affect you anymore. When you start to make excuses for the lies. That is never right. And always put yourself in. And when that lady asked that question, the first question that came to my mind was, if you were the one, if the case were reversed, would you want to know? If your husband had cheated on you previously, would you want to know? If you want to know, then tell him. Right? So, anyways, let us know what you guys think.
Yeah, exactly. Let us know what you think on this topic, on this matter. Do you think this issue is a tiny lie? Do you think it's something she should forgive and go back to the husband? They should work it out? Or do you think it's something that should be a deal breaker in the marriage? Let's not forget that this is not relationship now. A deal breaker in the marriage. Should it be a deal breaker in the marriage? Let us know what your opinion is.
Perspective, biblically, because everything we talk about here, we try to make it based on the word, right?
Yeah.
God hates divorce, but when it comes to this is don't let us scrap this part out, because this is going to be a whole conversation in itself. Because Jesus Christ said in the case of adultery, but does this qualify as an adultery? He didn't sleep with another woman whilst they were dating, right? But does this qualify as a basis for divorce?
That's
Christian wise.
God hates liars.
But God didn't say you should divorce because of a lie. So, but anyways, cut this part, because this is an entirely different conversation.
It's an entirely different conversation. But yes, we'd love to hear your We'd love to hear you guys. We'd love to hear your opinions. We'd love to know what you guys think about this topic. Honestly, I'm even interested to know what you guys think about this topic. All right. So as always, this podcast is available on. This episode is available on all podcast platforms and also on YouTube, as you guys are probably watching right now. But it's also available on all the podcast platforms, so you can go ahead and listen if you're someone who is interested in listening rather than watching. Okay, we've got you. And if you have any questions, any topic you want us to talk about, any experience you want to share with us, anything you just want to talk to us about, don't forget that we also have our Instagram accounts where you can send us DMs, or you can reach out to either of us on our Instagram platforms as well. All the details will again be in the description box. Anything you guys need, before, as it is in your mind like this, just check the description box. There might be an answer for you right there. Okay, let us know what you think. And as always, we remain your favorite host, Yemi and
Victoria. All right, bye guys.
All right, that's it guys. Bye. Stop lying.